Today we are talking about Combo Breaker 2023, my favorite event every year since I've been going for it for 5 years. I love this tournament. I'm going to be talking about my bracket, the bracket overall afterwards, and then just my general experience and why I love Combo Breaker so much. So at Combo Breaker, I entered Ultimate Singles, Ultimate Doubles, and Mystery Game, which I will get into later because it's just one of the things that make Combo Breaker so fun to me. Let's get into it. But before, of course, we do, subscribe, turn on notifications, ring the bell. I'd appreciate it. So really quickly, I just want to go over my tournament run. Me and MVD won doubles pretty handily. I think we lost one game in grand finals to Boat and Rickles, Toon Link, and Ganondorf. No, we lost another game. I think maybe it was Steve. It was Steve Yoshi that we lost a game to. So first off, I had to play Bradston, which was a 2-0 against the Dark Pit. Funny story about this. I literally I talked to someone and they had mentioned, oh, ESAM, if my friend wins their first round, they have to play you. But I'm like a huge fan, so if you two have to play, I'm rooting for you. And then the game starts and I hit him with like a 0-to-death and he was like, let's go, ESAM. And I thought that was the funniest thing ever, because normally it's like I have my favorite players but I'll root for my friends, and this was like the exact opposite. Very, very funny. But Bradston, solid. Next up, I played against Squigs, who was a Cloud. I think both games went to last stock, or at least the first one did. I think I got up smashed pretty early percent, but I did win that. And then I had to play against Rin, which was on stream, who was a Link main, and I think I double 2-stocked them. Pika Link is pretty fun offline. I'm a big fan of it, which put me into top 96. Which was a couple hours after that, where I had to play Rob Gucci, a Snake that I 3-0'd because I'm really good at the Snake matchup, and they had just beat a Pikachu. Actually, they beat Cool Kid, so I was supposed to play a Pikaditto with this part of bracket, but I ended up not. Then I played against So Good Pop, which again was on stream. Wii Fit Trainer, who ended up getting top 8, very, very talented player, 3-1. The matchup sucks. I'm pretty sure some of the games were close, some of them were slightly less close. I got a kill with like a quick attack stage spike that hit the the volleyball, which was very, very fun, which put me into top 24 winners, where I had to play Kobe, the Young Link main from CFL, and I won 3-0. I had lost to him recently at a local, and Kobe ended up getting an amazing tournament run after this, getting second, because I unfortunately did not get second because I had to play DeBuzz. So the story of the bracket here was that Riddles was the first seed, but he did not go to the tournament and he didn't tell TOs until too late, so they weren't able to redo the bracket. So Riddles was the first seed and was out. And then MVD got upset, who was I think the fourth seed of the tournament, who got upset by Noodle, the Wii Fit Trainer. So the first and fourth seed were not there, and also I think the fifth seed didn't show up, who was Sam T. Silver. I don't know what their tag is now, but they didn't show up, so literally one player got upset, 2 didn't show up, and so this side of top 8 looked very different than the other side of top 8, because we had Arcdice, who was a Chicago or like Illinois Falcon, and then Big Mac, who was an Illinois Sheik. This was a hot set, by the way, but then I had to play DeBuzz, because I was, I think, 6th seed, and I upset Kobe, and then DeBuzz was the 2nd seed and became the de facto 1st seed because Riddles dropped. But DeBuzz, I feel like I did pretty okay versus him game 1 as my Mii Brawler, although he did help me with like mentality stuff afterwards, but he did play me. He's so good. His Rosa's so much better than the last time I played it. It is ridiculous, and he still was winning most of the games we played in friendlies at Collision. He's incredible. So I dropped down into losers, where I had to play Mastronarde's Pokemon Trainer. I went Brawler game 1 because I don't like this. I didn't like the stage list for Pika, but that was one of the things DeBuzz is kind of helping me with. Is like I have to stop caring so much about stages and go the matchup that I like more. And Mastronarde played amazing. They were super cool, super sick. Big fan of how they played their Pokemon Trainer. They had a long-ass losers run because they got upset by, I think, the DDD, who got top 8, or sorry, 9th, which I will get into in a little bit. I think that was who we lost to. Maybe it was the K-Roll player, because 2 heavies did really, really well this tournament. But yeah, Mastronarde did really, really well this tournament. Our set was hot as hell. I feel a little bad about losing this one because like the games 1 and 5, they just beat me, right? But game 3, I had an edge guard and I just didn't do my second angle of quick attack because I let go too early. So I just SD'd at 0% when I was going to subsequently edge guard them like 100% in my head. So then I ended up losing that game because I had SD'd and I was now playing from a deficit and playing against a deficit as Charizard. It's kind of annoying. But game 2, I was pretty confident. Game 4, I was actually losing, but I had a comeback. But then Game 5, they just played really, really well. I should have let them go back to Smashville, which was the Game 3, because this was like a 3-ban, no DSR tournament, and I should have just let them go back to Smashville, even though I had lost there because I had SD'd at 0, and I kind of forgot about that until after they took first stock on PS2. I was like, oh right, I could have just gone back to Smashville and probably have won there. So, whoops. But that was my run. I got 5th. My first top 8 with Box at like a bigger tournament. Again, 400 something entrants, which was quite impressive. I felt pretty secure with Box. I did learn a couple things about my play, which is the fact that I'm currently not super good at preemptive DI with Box, which I kind of knew already, but I didn't realize how big of a problem it was, because when I played Goblin, I got put in a lot of tech chases by them, by like their down tilts and stuff. And Master Narde, Squirtle's F tilt, I like missed a billion techs, and I just was never ready to DI up, which is a really, really important thing in certain matchups, not every matchup, but certain tech chase matchups. You need to do something and then hold up, and I was not doing that, and it put me into a lot of bad situations where I died very early against Squirtle, which is not what you're supposed to do. Didn't I get 7th? Nope, this is 7th, this is 5th. Noodle upset Master Narde? Oh, it was, so Noodle upset Master Narde and MVD. But yeah, let's go over all the other matches. So, as I mentioned, the top side of bracket was a little bit easier, thanks to Noodle, the Wii Fit trainer. But either way, Big Mac had an amazing run, 3-2 over Arcdice. This was a really, really good set. The main story, honestly, Dabuz did not drop a game this entire tournament. He said I was his hardest match, and Kobe was also up there in terms of hard matches, and he 3-0'd both of us and had like no issues in pools. He kind of just swept this tournament kind of free. Kobe got second after losing to me. He ended up beating MVD, and then Raven King, and Arcdice, and Master Narde, and Big Mac, like very dominant tournament, other than losing to me and Dabuz. Essentially, like, he didn't struggle versus basically anyone, although the Raven King set had some close games. Again, Master Narde, as I mentioned, had a really, really long losers run, very impressive. They're the #1 in Minnesota now. The funniest thing about this is, apparently, I asked Master Narde, or I think I'd heard it before we played our set, but Master Narde was trolling and was just clicking Steve on like the character select screen, and then pressed start by accident, or like pressed like start the game with A by accident. He didn't mean to go Steve game 1, which is the one game he lost versus So Good Pop. Although this set was actually way closer than it had any right to be. I should have played the Wii Fit trainer, because literally Master Narde made 2 comebacks. Like, Master Narde lost game 1 and then made 2 comebacks, games 2 and 3. And if it was just a 3-0 for So Good Pop, I would have had to play the Wii Fit trainer, and then I would have beat Kobe again, and I would have beat Big Mac, and I would have got my ass handed to me by Dabuz. I would have got second. It's unfortunate. So yeah, very funny story. Like, Master Narde was like, I feel bad for like production if I have to like stop and go back and like confuse the commentators, because it was also the first set in losers, I'm pretty sure, from top 8. So very, very funny. But the top 24 also had some good action. Is this top 24? It did. So we had a Wii Fit trainer for top 8 because the aforementioned Noodle was in winners quarters, but then lost to Big Mac, and then So Good Pop. So Good Pop, the Wii Fit that I had beat. Master Narde had to beat Skits, who beat me in the auction tournament, which I'll also talk about in a little bit. Kobe 3-0'd MVD. Raven King beat Kilogram Hours. Kilogram Hours and Copel, I don't know why their name is Shadow Wizard Money, whatever. Their tag is Copel. Both of these players did amazing. Kilogram Hours and Copel had some insane runs, honestly, in their pools. Kilogram Hours obviously getting 9th with King DDD at like a pretty stacked tournament, so that's very, very impressive. And then we had Kilogram Hours, who just played really well in general. I watched them destroy a NES player in SNESS. Lost to Skits 3-2, but this was also a hot set. Skits is a who's their main? Wario main. It was a really, really good set, like high key. And then Copel went on like an insane losers run, because I remember I would have had to play, like, I was supposed to play Radacious the Steve, but So Good Pop beat them. And so then in still that round of pools, so Copel was already in losers from round 1 pools, and in the round 2 pools, beat Eclipse, beat Yaya, beat Radacious, the Steve player, in a reverse 3-0, beat Mitz, then beat Caden, and then losing to Kilogram Hours. I cannot believe we had a King DDD versus K-Rule for 13th place, which was a hot set, by the way. So yeah, Kilogram Hours, an amazing run, beat the top 8 seed, beat a bunch of other good players. Again, SNES, losing to Skits for the Wario from, I think, Texas. Just had a really, really good run, finally falling to Raven King for top 8. MVD getting 9th, unfortunately, again getting upset by Noodle, which was also low-key a hot set, just so we're aware. Like, there were so many good sets this tournament, but Combo Breaker was not just about Smash Ultimate. So Combo Breaker does something called the Mystery Game Tournament, and it's not just a random game that they then throw a tournament for and you don't know till you sign up. No, Mystery Game Tournament. In every single round of bracket is a different game. It's a different game. It's a versus game. It doesn't have to be a fighting game. It doesn't have to be anything. It just has to be a game you can play one-on-one versus. I'm pretty sure people played golf in one of the rounds, and I unfortunately I went 2-2 because this game it's just so cool, right? So I played some like older fighting game that apparently the person I was playing against, who also didn't know the game, happened to pick the best character in the game and figured out some broken stuff, and I didn't know how to combo because I had never played the game before. So I lost 2-0. I'd won some other weird fighting game that was like it was like a 3D fighter that looked kind of like shitty Soul Calibur, but then you couldn't actually sidestep. Just sometimes you could move to the side, and your move would like kind of move you to the side, and there was only 2 attack buttons, which was very weird. Then I played the pool runner of my pool, and I had it was like something similar to like Puyo Puyo Tetris / Bubble. What is it? Bubble It Up. Yeah, it was essentially Puyo Puyo Tetris mixed with Bubble Bobble. Thank you. I appreciate it, Chad. Because instead of just like having all the things laid out and you can move them, you had to shoot things up, but it still played like Tetris. But it was like a puzzle, so it was like that mixed with Puyo Puyo Tetris. So it was very fun. And then I ended up losing in like some like karate fighting game. And again, the thing is, Combo Breaker just has so many ways for you to enjoy an experience. A lot of times it's Smash tournaments, and I'm not gonna lie, this isn't me like throwing shade at Smash tournaments. Combo Breaker is able to do this for specific reasons. But Combo Breaker really makes it so that every single person there is having fun in the most ways that they can. There's a ton of artist alleys, which again, that's fairly standard. There's so many tournaments. Look at how many tournaments there are. So there's like, look at all these fighting games. There's Killer Instinct, there's BlazBlue, a bunch of different BlazBlues, there's Brawlhalla. Like look at all of these tournaments. And that's not including the side tournaments. There's 29 total events, not including side brackets. Because like Smash Ultimate Doubles isn't here, it's on a different StarGG page. Look at all these tournaments. It's crazy. There are a bajillion events for so many different fighting games. And to me, it is so cool that they have this, they have arcade cabinets, so like different fighting games. They had a chess section. There's like, they just did so phenomenally well. And like something that I of course appreciate is as someone that still like masks very heavily and is like very safe with COVID, that they are the only event I've seen have a mask mandate in a very long time, especially in North America. So I was very appreciative that they were like very serious about it. Like they would see people without masks on, and if they weren't like literally drinking like a bottle of water or whatever, or like eating, they would literally be like, hey, put your mask back on, like to random people or to top players. They basically did it all the time, which I was a huge fan of. I really, really appreciated that. Like Rick really cares, who the Hotto, the runner of the tournament, and I really, really appreciate that he did that. But again, the tournament was overall so fun. There was so much to do. Again, I played some chess, I played Mystery Game, I was watching fighting games that I had no idea what they were, and of course, all of those things combined with amazing top 8s for a bunch of fighting games. Again, I love fighting games. I love Guilty Gear, Street Fighter V. It was like the last hurrah. And seeing Just a Kid win that was super cool. Then of course you had Tekken top 8, and oh my god, Knee versus Arslan Ash is always going to be amazing. Like there's auction tournaments. Oh yeah, I forgot about auction tournaments. There was like 5 or 6 different auction tournaments, and the way auction tournaments work is typically like if it's a one-on-one fighting game, like you're putting money into a pot, and you're essentially wagering. Like you're buying a character, right? So like let's say you're playing Smash, right? And you want to play Pikachu, and they call Pikachu. You have to auction to who gets the character, and then you put that much money into the pot. And it was a 70-30 split. I unfortunately got tied for 3rd in that tournament, so I did not make any money, but my team was kind of crazy. It was Samus, Steve, and Mr. Game & Watch, and the title was Champions because it was me who had won Combo Breaker with Samus, Meister who had won with Game & Watch, and then Onan who had won with Steve last year. So it was very, very funny. But auctions, like there were auction tournaments for Smash Ultimate, and it was Squad Strike 1v1 single elimination. Sorry, not 1v1. Squad Strike 3v3, but it was best of one. So it was just one game. It was so funny. And there's that for, Marvel vs. Capcom. There was that for Strive. The funniest thing about the auction for at least Ultimate, I don't know how the other ones worked because I was not going to participate, was we didn't know the characters in who we were buying. It was just like the team top tiers bet on the team called Top Tiers, which was the one that ended up winning, which was Fox, Pikachu, and Meta Knight, because Pikachu's the best character in 64, the top tier of 64. Meta Knight's the top tier of Brawl, and of course Fox is the top tier of Smash 4, or sorry, not Smash 4, Melee. So it was very fun. Again, there are so many different ways to have fun at this tournament. Security was pretty good. Like, they were pretty serious about it, except you could bring, like, water in, which was nice because you didn't have to throw away your water all the time, and it saved a bunch of money. But yeah, it was just a great experience. I highly recommend, if you like fighting games, come to Combo Breaker. The commentary was amazing. Like, everything was just so good at this event. I never have any critiques. My one critique is I played too much Smash, and I wish I spent more time watching other fighting games, but also I wanted to top 8, and I got top 8, and yeah, I wish I could have done better, but top 8 is always going to be pretty good for me. Arbiter had perfect energy. He really did in the commentary, but it was so fun. I love watching fighting games, support fighting games. I'm going to be playing Street Fighter 6 probably, at least for a while, so you'll enjoy some Street Fighter 6 streams as well. DJ and Dawson go crazy. But yeah, thank you everyone for watching. I'll see you all next time.